Welcome back to another episode of Wheel to Wheel. Okay.
All right. Big episode this
Yeah.
week. Big episode.
If y'all have not tuned in the first two episodes, we've been going through all 11 F1 teams, starting with a review of the 2025 season and then kind of transitioning seamlessly, some would say, into our 2026 outlooks. Not necessarily final predictions, but some loose predictions on what we think the team is capable of doing, maybe in constructors, drivers, the lineup, the car, and how they're going to handle this new regulation season. In case I can't quite remember what teams we've already done, but I'm pretty sure we might be up to maybe our two favorites today.
Yeah, I think today might be the fifth and fourth placers in the Constructors Championship last year, starting off with the Blue Man.
Atlassian.
The Blue Men.
If you are new to the channel, I am a fan of Atlassian Williams Racing. We've already reviewed all the other teams that were slower than them in the midfield. So if you're a fan of those teams, please check out the previous videos. But if you want to talk about a successful rebuild, that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So
we're talking about that twice, technically.
Yeah, for sure.
Or some would say a fall from grace.
Yeah, for sure. With that being said, let's dive into it. And it's perfect because, let me just hide that. What we're looking at here is the car actually from last year.
Yep.
So let's talk about 2025. Williams was probably the most hyped it had ever been going into a season because of this handsome fella right here.
The man, the myth.
And the team we are going to be talking about a little bit later may or may not have let him go for Lewis Hamilton.
Who performed so well.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the last Ferrari race winner... Oh, yeah, true. Last Ferrari race winner is still Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Anyways, so last year was a big year for Williams. Off-season was big. Mostly because of Carlos and only because of Carlos, I would say. James Vowles is the team principal for Williams. Let's get out of this little bio right here. James Vowles, JV as they call him. JV as they call him, the homeboy. But He's been really managing expectations leading up to the regulation changes this year. So last year it was kind of a, hey, we're going in with the car. FW47, I mean, it couldn't really get much worse than 2024. FW48 was so slow. That's where Franco made his appearance after we got rid of Logan halfway through the season. Expectations for me was like, I think I picked him to finish P7. I was like, P9 to P7 is like a pretty decent jump. But as everybody knows now, we're talking about P5 in the constructors. The car was pretty dang quick, especially in the straights. It was competitive. I think people forget how good of a season Alex Albon had. He finished above Carlos Sainz in the drivers. He drove super consistently, finishing like 5th, 6th place throughout.
A thing I want to point out about them too, and honestly for James Vowles is, yes, he manages expectations well. He's been around success for a really long time. Was with Mercedes like for an extended stay there. So the guy knows what it takes. We've talked about that before, even just with, I think maybe specifically Lewis with Ferrari. But when you start to like plug in the right pieces and have guys that know how to build this team and build a winning team, a winning atmosphere, like all of that, it likely pans out. Lots of funding. They got the big new sponsor, Atlassian. And these two guys are stellar drivers. Yeah. And they probably, but the gap between them and Ferrari was fairly substantial. But I feel like half the year we were talking about one of these two guys had a DNF. I mean, Liam Lawson dive bombed Carlos 42 times and took him out of a race. I think Albon had a breakdown, maybe a crash or two.
Albon had car problems like right in the beginning of the second half of the season.
Right. So take it to where both of these cars finish in the points all year. I mean, good grief, they're up with the top four. Yeah. And it's no question.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on with just how JB handled it, and I think how he knows how to win is also how he got Carlos to hop on board with the team.
Yeah.
He was trying to hold out and wait to see if Mercedes or Red Bull would have given him an offer, but then he was basically between Alpine and Williams. And at the time, Alpine actually potentially looked like a better option than Williams. And thank goodness he didn't go to Alpine because holy crap, that would have aged horribly. But
Well, he had already had a stint. I believe he had a stint with Renault, or
yeah,
driven a
that's a
Renault
good point.
car.
Yeah, Ricardo
And
replaced him.
so, like, did he want to go back to the same stuff? It had changed some. I mean, the car was different for sure, but I'm with you. Lot of reason to want to feel that pull towards Alpine, but he's also said in multiple interviews, like when he went to McLaren because he knew that they were going to build a good product and that the project of that team was headed in the right direction and it was going to be fun. They were going to be successful. The only reason he left McLaren was to go to Ferrari, or else he would have been there last year and they had, a tremendous amount of success. So Carlos can sniff out a good team. We do know that.
Yeah, and it's the Carlos Sainz effect. You look at a team, was it the years after Carlos has been there, they make big leaps and bounds. And I think the joke was that he wants to stay with this team to hopefully reap the benefits of a race-winning world champion team when it comes to McLaren now. But it was a great year. I think it blew everybody's expectations out the window. P5 is fantastic for them. They jumped up 4 places, which is crazy. P9 to P5.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. But with all that being said, the excitement was, of course, in that year, but leading up to it, there was supposed to be no excitement because everything is being leveraged for the 2026 regulations. And now we're here.
Yep.
And we have a great driver lineup. But I think that's before I move on to 2026, do you think that's a good capping off of the 2024 season or 2025 season of just like kind of over exceeded expectations in a big way, developed a pretty quick car. I mean, 2 podiums for the first time in forever with Carlos, Albon constantly in the points, just like quite the turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, we said it before last year started that when they showed their car for the first time, it looked like a proper machine.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a race car.
Heavy.
And they said they weren't going to do anything, that they were just going to, semi-drive the same car with minor developments. And it was like, if they developed that car in the midst of saying they weren't going to develop a car and then also were developing this new car, obviously their wheels are turning in the right direction. Mm-hmm. They are going to make progress. They're going to be successful. I mean, we saw last year. I think that's a good way to end it is they exceeded expectations by a long shot and had the best year they've had in years.
And then on a high note, and I think it's almost making the pressure now of everything James has said. I guess the pressure is now stacking to an even higher level because, okay, well, we podiumed in a car that we are even saying we may not even be fighting for podiums yet next year. And now we're sitting here on the car that he's like, no, we will be fighting with this car. We've talked about it before, but like people that come from more the engineering side, being team principals, we've liked them. We've liked this success we've seen with them. So James Vowles is one of those people. I trust him around the cars. He races cars on the side for fun. Like I trust his development, but then of course, probably one of the bigger headlines is there was the Barcelona shakedown, and Williams was MIA.
Yeah.
Their car wasn't ready. I think they actually hadn't failed some of the tests that was previously reported, but it was a bit of a weird situation. It seems like things weren't in sort. The car wasn't ready. They didn't want to put a final product out there and just kind of drive it around and have something work, kind of like potentially what Aston did, just to have it break down and just really not show the final product off. But also I have another theory, but I'm going to let you jump in before I jump.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add right there. I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's I think looking up for this year, I think their main thing right now is the talk has ceased about this compression ratio crap in the engine. At least super publicly, it has. Problem right now seems to be fuel, and I don't know what they're going to do about it because right now they're saying that the only teams that have fuel that is correct is like Ferrari and Audi and maybe one other one that's like Shell, BP, and something else. Like I don't know. Again, I don't know how valid that is or how invalid that is. I was only reading about that this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that pans out. But, I mean, I think they're set up good. You're right. You don't want to tip your hand. You don't want to put the car out there and make it look like a dumpster fire like Aston Martin is. But that car is actually slow. So
Aston Martin's
I don't think this will be.
Yeah, Aston Martin's car is bad. But yeah, so we'll take a look at the car first and foremost. But this is the new threads. I like the white. I like the baby blue with Barclays.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks like more of an F1 car because they have a lot more sponsorships.
Yeah, the battery is also just iconic.
Yeah, Duracell's still there. They added a little bit more emphasis on the poker chip tires, which is cool. But yeah, good looking car. That is the current car.
For sure.
I have this pulled up here. Braun GP. If you don't know the story about Braun, 2009, Braun came in on new regulations, basically lost all their funding, as you can see, by their literal one sponsor on their car. James Vowles was a part of the team to help develop this car. Everybody gets laid off before the season. They squeak out 2 cars, and they throw those bad boys on the track in testing, and everybody goes, what the heck? Why are they 1 second faster than everybody? They end up winning the World Drivers and the Constructors Championship and just smoke everybody the entire year. The reason I bring this up is because there's a little bit of me.
Is because the side pods look the same.
No, dude.
Go to the first picture, though.
You think I'm looking at the car details and I think that's why? No, I think there's a chance we didn't show up to Barcelona because we're like, hold on. We don't want to give people enough time to maybe develop around these things that we're doing. So we're going to show up late and do a little private shakeout with ourselves at Silverstone and just kind of feel the car out and not give away too much. I think that's not true, but I'm just saying that to make myself get a little bit more excited about the car and everything going into it. In reality, I just don't think things are ready to go. But since we've been in Bahrain and we're seeing testing right now, we have done the most laps, I'm pretty sure, out of any team. We've had no issues with breakdowns or any failures, so feeling pretty good about the consistency of the car. I'm excited. I think there's a chance we end up just getting 5th again.
You think?
I think so.
You don't think one of these top guys is going to fall?
I think
I do. I don't know who, but I think somebody's going to have a bad car this year.
If it's going to be anybody, right now, just based on vibes alone, I think it would be McLaren, which is kind of crazy to say. But I think it would be McLaren. I feel like that's where I hear the most complaints coming out of the garage. Yeah. I think Williams is going to be fighting for 4th or 5th place, most likely. If they're fighting for more, that's awesome, but I am trying to manage expectations. My main thing going into this year is instead of being if a race falls in our favor, something happens or we get a remarkable quali, and that's the only way we're going to end up on a podium, I'd rather it be we have a fighting chance every single weekend, and it doesn't feel like something has to happen in order for it to work. And then I also want Albon to get a podium so bad.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're filming this on Bahrain testing 2 day 1. We have the results of that in. I mean, they're in the mix today, but specifically, they were 8-11, and it's the tire stuff in testing confuses the crap out of me. They can use any of the compound, C1 to C10, I think. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, they're in the mix. There's nothing bad to be said right now. Yeah, it was a little scary that they didn't show up at Barcelona, but like you said, like we both said, it's okay, just don't put an incomplete product out. It doesn't. That's just going to give you. It's going to give fans, haters, anybody just fuel to crap on you and say that this thing sucks and this, that, and the other. When it's all right, just button up the last couple things and let's see this thing rip in Bahrain.
And also, it's just testing. The reliability thing is the biggest thing for me, where we've done so many laps and we really haven't had any big standout issues.
Yeah.
The car's never stopped on the track and it's had to be removed, which makes you feel good, but you really just have no idea. Truthfully, Williams could come out and be second fastest car. It could happen. I don't see that happening, but it really could happen. So I'm excited for the change. This is kind of the year, I've been waiting for as a Williams fan, but last year kind of came as a sweet little surprise of like, hey, we're kind of doing this. Like seeing Carlos on the podium twice was so sick. It was so sick to see a Williams on the podium. Last year we had a couple sneaky podiums, but 2 was great. So I'm excited for next year. We're going to be chasing after potentially the long rivalry that is now coming back of your team, Grant.
So we say.
There you go.
The red guys.
Wow, dude, nobody's a Ferrari fan. This is so unique and cool.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm one of the very few. Anyway, this is my team. This is who I pull for. I've been a Charles Leclerc guy since he was at Alfa Romeo. I will preface that. And when I joined into the F1 world and started liking this stuff, Lewis was on his tear. So it was like, I didn't know if I loved him or hated him. As he continued to be good and like break records and stuff, I was like, okay, this guy's legit. Like, I'll pull for him. So perfect storm here. Lewis joins my team. Non-perfect storm. We were
I was about to say perfect storm.
Fiery garbage last year. There's all this promise of like, oh my gosh, Lewis is coming. The car's okay. Surely he can drag it into points. And it was horrible.
P7.
I think last year, yeah, he was that Adam called P7 for him pretty much every race, and he was right 90% of the time. But last year, I think, truly showed how good Charles is at taming a beast of a bad car. That dude can drag a horrible car, a car that is twitchy, that drives itself in a bad way, into some pretty damn good places. I think there's a lot of learning curve too for Lewis coming in. I mean, this is a new team. Lewis had been with the same team for forever. There were processes in place that he knew like the back of his hand, things that just happened that he didn't even have to check on. You come into a new team that publicly, visibly, every way you put it, was a mess. I mean, you're a fairly new team principal with Vasseur, and I don't think he's not the guy, but like we got to see some upside to this. All that to say, if we're going to reflect on last year, let down. Yeah, it was tough. I mean, there wasn't a ton of positive all the time. It was like, oh my gosh. It wasn't oh my gosh, we got 2 cars in the pits, like the same stupid shit that happened with Carlos all the time. It was more like, where is the other half of the team?
Or where's the pace? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the tires. I feel like the tires also just kind of burned out a lot of times during races.
We're always heavy on tire wear. Like, that's just a Ferrari.
If Williams was considered hyped with Carlos going, this was considered like astronomically hyped. This was like the predictions for Ferrari World Championships were coming in hot with Lewis obviously being a part of the team. Mm-hmm. And then, as I said, I kept making the jokes. Obviously, I'm picking fun at you because it's, that's just what you do. But Lewis was a P7 magnet, dude. Like, he couldn't get out of that spot. Which is like, look, he's scoring points, but at the end of the day, like, Ferrari doesn't go into it to be like, hey, let's finish P4 in the constructors. They go into it to win it every single year. And if they're not top 3, it's a bad look.
Yeah. There's tons of pressure from fans, and I mean, the whole country of Italy is behind them on this.
Wasn't a single race win last year.
No, we had a sprint win and a few podiums.
Yeah, so
it was bad. I mean, points wise, it's like, okay, you finished P4, you can't be that mad. No, you can.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, Max is a one-man team. Like, there's just a lot of elements to where, like, it really would have been a good year to strike if you had a good car, especially with Kimi being a rookie driver and kind of having ebbs and flows. Max being a one-man team, it's like, when else are you really gonna have a go at it? McLaren was obviously a beast, but you could have gotten P2.
Yeah.
So, definitely unfortunate. I don't root against Ferrari by any means. I like Charles as well. He's a great driver. I think he drives smooth, and I really like how he drives. I'm excited to see him in these cars. Mm-hmm. Everybody's excited to see Lewis in smaller cars again. So we'll see how that goes. But before we dive into that, do you want me to show the livery off?
Check this new livery out.
Oh, it's so
just rearrange the white a little bit.
So different,
dude. Honestly, it looks cool though.
It always looks cool.
It always looks cool.
I think my favorite thing's the big blue HP logo.
Yeah, HP is overwhelming. Always is. I think it it hides itself a little better sitting on white right there.
What?
Well, I guess it was sitting on white last year.
Yeah,
so.
bro. But also
the
it's
white
like,
cockpit's cool.
look.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an HP logo on it. Oh my god. But the white cockpit is clean and
Zen. Big.
Yeah, Zen, big random sponsor there. I mean, I guess whatever works.
Oh yeah, bud.
They're definitely paying some bills for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. Nice. Tobacco's back. Is that what they're saying?
I guess, man. But this livery's cool. A little extra black, like the front wing and stuff. Yeah, it looks aggressive. I said this about Haas, but red and black is just a fast combination. Like it just looks cool.
So I usually like white. Like I like more white on a car. Like keep it clean, either black or white. I kind of wish they almost went more black. Where the white is, like if they just went red and black, that would have looked mean. Like and they're like not messing around. So I still think it's great. It's a great looking car. I mean, it's classic. You can't hate on the classics, and I think that's just what Ferraris is every single year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's iconic. I mean, sponsors out the wazoo. You keep Puma, you keep Richard Mille, Shell's their fuel provider, Ray-Ban,
IBM, Whoop.
What the? Oh, I forgot they got sponsored by Whoop. They're both wearing one. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, look, everybody knows what Ferrari is. I mean, their thing is we don't have commercials because everyone knows what Ferrari is, and that's partially true. But with that being said, you should be finishing in the top 3 every year with this kind of stuff.
I mean, look at the sponsorships. You should be finishing top 3.
Yeah, you have unlimited money, and
AWS
in other
is a new one.
Yeah, look, in other classes of racing, they're at the top. Like you want to talk 24 hours, like Le Mans, that stuff. They're at the top, man. They win it like every year, I feel like, or almost every year. Like they're always having a celebration for one of their racing teams, and it's never the F1 team. That's ridiculous. So anyway, I'll get off the high horse.
Let's go into 2026. How are you feeling?
I feel good. All of the information that's out there on the power unit says it's good. I think, Cadillac is more testing. Haas is more testing. There's been no colossal breakdowns of this engine sitting on the side of the track for testing either. Ferrari ran one chassis, one power unit, all of testing in Bahrain for one. It may have come from Barcelona too. So they put miles on these engines. They put stress on these engines, and they haven't blown up. It's good to see. It's also there's rumors out there that we're going to have big upgrades going into race 1. They say that every year, so I don't know. We'll see.
I'm hearing a lot of positive talk about Ferrari's power unit and everything going into it right now. I don't know what to think. I think I've heard this before and I've seen it not work out.
Yeah.
But also just feels like it's about time for them to take advantage of a situation and jump on. A lot of people are picking Charles Leclerc for their driver's champion.
Mm-hmm.
Keep down, boy. Keep it calm. But I think I'm not confident enough to jump on that train. I've been a fan of. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on the Mercedes big time, their power unit. But I do think, look, like Ferrari's the second biggest distributor for the F1 teams, so it's like, why not them? I think there's potential for them to be the second fastest team easily, especially with their lineup, and if Lewis can adapt to these smaller cars. Definitely a fun time to be a Ferrari fan. Obviously, you're always optimistic going into a season, but this is where it's like, okay, please, the growing pains are gone with Lewis. Lewis gets the car finally. He even said, he's like, this car has a little bit of my DNA in it. I helped him develop it instead of just showing up and inheriting something that's so different from Mercedes, which, Carlos has even talked about it. Like, he had to adapt from the Ferrari to a Williams, which is a Mercedes power unit and other configurations. So it's like, that's a switch. And I think it was a tough comparison because Carlos obviously podiumed with a Williams. And Hamilton, did he ever podium outside of the sprint?
He won that sprint race. That was it.
Yeah. So I think it was a tough comparison, but Also, Carlos has done that before, where he hopped around teams, and Lewis hadn't.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he has more success. I hope Kim Kardashian never steps foot in the paddock. But besides that, I think
she probably lives in the paddock already. Just got too much money.
But besides that, I think they actually could be a pretty good team.
Yeah. I've like ton of upside for this year. Again, it's easy to be that way going into something like this, but reviews are good. Talk is there. It's going to be exciting. Should be an improvement from last year, and we need Lewis Hamilton to get back into form and show that he's still got it in him. He said too that he feels like he's in a better place now than he has been in a long time. I don't know if that means mentally, emotionally, Kim Kardashian. I don't know.
Dude,
could be anything.
Why would you be in a better place if you're dating? Yeah, I got Kanye West in my DMs. It's pretty good, bro. I don't know. I feel pretty good. Dude, my head just got crazy wonky outside. But I feel pretty good about Ferrari in general. I don't not see them potentially being 1 or 2. I think that's where I would put them right now. Just based off testing, I would say 1 or 2.
I just want to see him get some wins, man.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it would be awesome if it was like a total mix-up where the top 2 were 2 teams that weren't top 2 last year.
Alpine looks fast. I'll say that right now.
Alpine?
Yeah. They look quick.
I mean, yeah, they look fast because the power unit's great. I think, like, didn't Franco, go hug Toto, basically, and was like, dude, this thing's awesome. But, yeah, it should be interesting. I'm definitely drinking the Kool-Aid on Mercedes still a lot. I think Kimi's a fantastic driver. I think he'll do great with it. He's already talked about liking the regulations. I think George will do great. I think George just kind of does his thing.
He topped the sheets today, and Kimi had the fastest lap.
So I think they're going to be lightning. I think it's going to be them and Ferrari though. To give you a little bit of gas. I would love if Williams is 3. Heck,
that'd be cool.
They are running a different front suspension setup than majority of the teams. I think it's them, Audi, and the third team I'm pulling on my butt. I don't know if it was Cadillac or if it was Alpine, but they're taking a little bit of risk. I think it's kind of just the idea of doing efficiency. Everybody's talking about power management, energy management, basically being the key for the season. I think the idea is to not basically lose anything on the turns or something like that, to basically where you can recharge and not lose battery and whatever. The idea is to make the car as drivable as possible so you don't lock up or do anything stupid to then lose battery.
Yeah.
So it's like peak drivability, I think, is what Williams is going for and James Vowles is going for, so that the guys can just drive the car extremely well and not make mistakes and just consistently get their way around the track.
Yeah. Look, on the battery note, you want to talk about a hot topic, that clip of Nico coming down the straight where you can see his battery level and it like drains a third of the way into
coasts. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, Max is already figuring out how, like, where he needs to shift an extra gear down to pick up more energy. Like yeah. Like, we're going to see, like we've said, guys are going to figure out ways to make this work. And they're going to shine, and they'll shine until other guys can figure out how to do the same thing and combine it all. Like, it's going to be really interesting to see how they adapt to this, because it's new. It's way different.
And it really could be like, it's not even like a team dominating. It could just be drivers dominating.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And it
could carry. Who's to say, like, Albon doesn't figure it out?
Yeah.
Oscar.
Well, we said, like, Ollie Behrman could figure it out and just take this Haas.
Well, Esteban's been looking really good, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one guy from each team could kind of get a hot start, but like that's kind of what happens. Like, as we said, like Albon started so hot last year and then had some car problems, got into crashes, ran over pieces of cars, just got unlucky with punctures and things like that. Whereas Carlos has a couple great qualies, and then it's like, hey, the guy gets 2 podiums. So you just don't know.
Yep. It's going to be great. Great time to be getting into F1. If you're not into it, you should be into it soon.
That was
and if you're into F1, we're in for another good year. Last year was great,
dude. And also, please freaking subscribe, dude.
Yeah, subscribe.
We've been stuck at 37 for so long, bro.
I know. Somebody show us 40, please.
Come on, bro, please. Also, I think that was kind of harder to talk about. Like, when I started talking about Williams, I just like blacked out. I was like, am I even saying anything productive?
Yeah, it's hard to get into the weeds with your own team
because you just get you
can just spiral.
Exactly, you have a lot of information. You're just like flipping through it, and you're like, I don't think I'm doing anything productive at the moment.
Talking about emotions, we don't do that,
dude. I get like excited and shaky when I think about the team getting album podium, bro.
Please.
Jeez. Sorry. All right. Well, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, everybody.